Hey, friends! Romantic comedy. It wasn't always Tom Hanks in You've Got Mail or Billy Crystal in When Harry Met Sally, though I'd settle for either of those given the junk made in Hollywood today. Before the early 1990s rom-coms, there was a time in American film during the 1950s and 60s when the romantic comedy meant a sophisticated farce where love always triumphed in the end. It bore a certain charm, a starry-eyed love of life, and even an innocence when it came to sex. Will they or won't they couples always put a ring on it first? These films were light, airy, and fun, with chance meetings, zany twists of fate, and, with the favor of the romantic gods, couples always got together. It's a genre that pretty much died off in the early 1970s, a casualty of changing times, proof that not all change is good. Post-Vietnam, post-Watergate, there was no longer a place for sparkling sophistication in humor. Everything had to be dreary and cynical. Thanks, Nixon. Some big stars were synonymous with romantic comedies. Doris Day, of course, and Cary Grant, and Rock Hudson, James Garner, all known for doing drama. Even Doris did drama. And all were equally good at romantic comedy. This time, we're talking about one of those romantic comedies, Strange Bedfellows from 1965, starring Rock Hudson, Gina Lollobrigida, and Gig Young. Our story goes like this. American businessman Carter Harrison is strolling around London one day when he meets Italian anarchist and artist Tony Vincenti. The pair promptly fall for one another and get married. This leads to hot, sexy times, but suddenly the pair realize they disagree about everything and begin arguing. Being an Italian spitfire, Tony likes to throw things, and Carter has no choice but to leave before he gets thrown out the window. Well, time passes, and after 7 years of separation, they finally decide to get a divorce. But when they meet again, they go right back to makeouts. Followed by, you guessed it, arguing. So the divorce is back on. The problem is, Carter is up for a big promotion, and a divorce could cause a scandal at his company, not to mention Tony's loony activism. So PR man Richard is assigned to help Carter keep things on the down low, get back together with Tony, and keep her from acting the fool at protests. Carter and Tony realize they're still in love, of course, but complicating matters is a rival for Tony's affections, and he tries to put the kibosh on any reconciliation so he can get Tony for himself. You can't really blame him, though. Will these star-crossed lovers finally work things out and be able to come together? Will true love find a way? In our cast, we have Rock Hudson, of course. He was always great in a dramatic role, yet he was one of the stalwarts of the romantic comedy genre. Everyone loved Rock Hudson, who conveyed a steady, manly strength in his movies, but could convey a wonderful sense of humor, too. This scene in particular, where he has to share a bed for the night with a romantic rival, is kind of ironic and even more humorous, knowing as we now do that Rock Hudson was gay. At the time Strange Bedfellows was made, this was still a big secret, not revealed until after Rock Hudson died. Gina Lollobrigida is the love interest. She was one of several Italian bombshells who came to American movie screens after World War II. See, during the war, American GIs met and got a taste for Italian chicks. while occupying Europe. These chicks were bold and exotic compared to the hometown variety, so actresses like Gina Lollobrigida, Sophia Loren, and others were soon in demand in post-war Hollywood. Gina and Rock Hudson had previously starred in another romantic comedy together a few years before in 1961 called Come September. That one also has Sandra Dee and Bobby Darin. Gig Young is here playing a neurotic public relations man trying to keep Hudson on track. He plays a similar character in That Touch of Mink with Cary Grant. He's very good here. Edward Judd plays the romantic rival. He starred as Bradford in First Men in the Moon, among many other things. Nancy Culp from the Beverly Hillbillies plays one of the art crowd activists. We also have a cameo by comedic legend Terry Thomas as a mortician. And you may spot Bernard Fox, who plays a policeman. Among a metric ton of other roles, you know him from Bewitched, where he played Dr. Bombay. Strange Bedfellows is fairly typical of the kind of romantic comedy available to audiences back in the day. Even at the time, there was a tongue-in-cheek nature to the depiction of romance and how they approached sex with an innocent, albeit knowing, wink. It was made for grown-ups after all, and grown-ups knew what was what in the real world. Despite the promise of hot, sexy times, these pictures still follow traditional paths which lead to traditional outcomes, and everyone winds up happy, even, oftentimes, including the rival. These pictures are light, they're bright, and they sparkle in a most charming and disarming way. Fun, humor, romance, taking responsibility with attractive people who, through hard work and talent, find success and willingly wind up in a traditional relationship. In short, this is everything the Twitter kids hate, loathe, and cringe at. And that alone gives this genre value. True, these pictures are a little predictable, but the best ones offer a fun ride with likable characters to get you to the inevitable destination. The couple will meet, fall for each other, have a misunderstanding, break up, and meet again, and true love, as always, will eventually triumph, as soon as the guy puts a ring on it. We really don't have anyone in Hollywood today who could play these kind of roles convincingly. We don't have a Doris Day, or a Cary Grant, or a James Garner, or a Rock Hudson, or a Tony Randall, and I really miss those guys. The closest we have, perhaps, is George Clooney. In fact, he has a new romantic comedy playing in theaters now. Not seen it yet, but it's supposed to be pretty good. So maybe there's hope for the genre yet. Strange Bedfellows is a fun romp. Hudson and Young are in top form. Gina is gorgeous, and the movie is a well-made, innocent, light comedy. So I'm giving this one 2 3/4 paws up. Well worth a spin. You can see my review of That Touch of Mink here. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.